Hey, what's up all you do-it-yourselfers? My name's Dylan Taylor, this is Dylan's DIY Workshop, and today I'm teaching you guys how to wrap a present. So let's get right into it. You got presents to wrap, it's probably Christmas Eve. Okay, so I'm gonna do this on the floor because the box is pretty big. So here we go. If you're wrapping something like this, you've got a box, something that is box-shaped or rectangular, something, that's the easiest thing to wrap. You want to take your wrapping paper and whatever side you want on the outside, you want to have facing the floor or the table. So I want this quilted pattern, that's what I'm going to put to the floor. So you want to roll this out, set your box down, pull it around like this until you get to just past the halfway mark. Then you want to grab this, and still holding onto this piece, you want to wrap it around until it gets to just past the halfway mark. And then grab that spot, so that's right here on the paper, and that's where you're going to cut it. To cut, I like to use a pretty sharp pair of scissors. It can be any kind of pair of scissors though. So you can start to slice, and then you'll get to a point where it starts to glide. So just hold onto the paper back here, and then slide across. Now if you have really cheap wrapping paper, sometimes that'll rip, so you have to be careful. You're going to want some, I guess they call it Scotch tape, but it's basically clear transparent tape. You can get them in single rolls like this, or you can just buy the roll to put in a piece like that. So we're going to grab one of these edges, pull it up the box, tape it to the box, and most of the time, whatever you're wrapping, you should be able to tape it to. If you can't, just grab the two pieces of paper and close them together and then tape the paper together. In this case, I could tape right to the box, so that makes it much easier. Tape here. I did forget to mention, you want to have this kind of centered in the middle. As long as, if you want the sides to look the same, you want to have it centered. So you pull your paper up, and then what I like to do is, because this is a pretty jagged, rough edge, I like to fold it in so that we have a nice, crisp edge. And that can be easier to do on the floor or the table or wherever you're working. So there we go. Pull this up, nice smooth edge. Grab yourself some more tape. And I like to go lengthwise along the seams, so where seams right here, I take the piece of tape and I go lengthwise because it has more holding power, just because it has more surface area, the length of that, rather than if you had attached it this way, it's not going to do the same. It'll only hold for this width, and the length doesn't really matter because there's nothing pulling on it. So I like to get a couple pieces on there. Okay, now comes the interesting part. So to do the ends, push it in like this, and in like this. From this corner up top to the middle, and this bottom corner to the middle, you want to push it in, and just fold this top piece right here. And we do that, fold that down, and then fold to the corner. So you're basically running your finger along the edge of the box, and into there, and into here, and you're going to end up with this triangle piece, or a, I guess, I don't even know what end you would call this, and so that's how you get that look at the end of the box. Now that kind of looks a little ugly here, and we want to make them the same, so we're going to do the same trick as the other spot, and we're just going to fold them in so that they look the same. So we fold that corner in, and if you want, you can put just a little bit of tape on the inside so it doesn't come apart while you're trying to put it together. And then we're going to do the same thing here. We're just going to fold it in until we get it to about the same spot. And this all just depends on how nicely you want things wrapped. I sometimes wrap things really quickly. Other times I wrap things with a lot more care. It really just depends. But this is a nicer way to do it. You don't have to make these look the same. I think it just looks much nicer if you do. I always just put a couple more pieces of tape on wherever you need them. And I try to run down all the parts that you can still see. So you can still see the tape just a bit. See how you can still see the tape just a bit because it's foggy? When you wipe that down, you let it all right here. It kind of disappears a bit. So now that you got that one side, the other side's pretty easy. You can stand it up if you want, or if it makes it easier for you, lay it down still. And so you're just going to gently push the sides in, and then run your fingers up top here and down at the bottom there. That. And we're going to fold this bottom bit in to there. We're going to leave it. Fold this top bit in to here. Pull it down. Grab some tape. You'll get better at this after you do a couple boxes. That is for sure. Boom. Now all you have to do is put a bow on it. That is how you wrap a Christmas gift. Merry Christmas, guys. We'll see you guys all next time. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something new. If you did, make sure you subscribe. And as always, Merry Christmas. Or in this instance, Merry Christmas. See you guys all later. Oh, and one more thing. If you want to make this needlessly annoying, you probably saw the tuck tape on the box. Go ahead and use tuck tape instead of real tape. They'll thank you so much more when they're struggling to open the wrapping paper.